So if you watch the preview, you know that there is like a pile of stuff, boxes and boxes, sitting right about there at the end of my dining room. Showed it to you in the last video. My goal with this series is to work my way through all of that stuff. That stuff is stuff that I collected over the summer at flea markets, thrift stores, yard sales, a couple of estate sales, some auctions, even a couple trash piles, I'm not gonna lie. And now my goal is to share it with you, unbox it all. I can't even remember what's in here. And if you love it, then you can go to my Etsy, visit my eBay, or my Instagram or Facebook pages and shop there if there's anything that you would like to make yours. Now, the goal of this is for me to show you this stuff and then take like a day or two to get it listed. And then within a week or so, if it's not listed and you're annoyed with me because you're like, Janelle, I want that thing and you didn't put it up yet, then you can either come back and leave a comment or send me a direct message in one of those social media things I just talked about and let me know that I need to get on it. Hopefully that'll motivate me to keep up with everything and keep the new inventory pushed out to you so that you can enjoy it as well. So we're gonna get to this box. Last video was too long. I got a little overzealous and did 2 boxes. Today I'm gonna keep it to 1. We're gonna work through this box. I'm gonna show you what's in here. If I have an idea what I might ask for it or how much I could get for it, I'll share that information with you. Some of it I still need to do some research on because honestly, I haven't touched it since I bought it and I really don't remember for the most part what's in some of these boxes. So we're gonna get to it and you can let me know in the comments if you have questions about specific items or if you have additional information about specific items. That's always helpful too. So let's get to it. We've got a Sheds, Cool Sheds, brightly painted Sheds peanut butter bucket. So peanut butter, yes, used to come in a metal bucket. This one, sometimes the bands around the top and bottom are orange. This one is blue. It depicts, you've got like an elephant there and the creepy but yet cute little elves, the little peanut butter elves, are look like they're giving the elephant a bath while he's painting the sign. And then there are other animals around the edge. There's a gorilla, more elves, and then we get back to the giraffe. And then at the top, you can see the top. It is a little rusty, so you can see some rust on the bottom. You can also see the sides flattened here where it got dented, but it doesn't affect the appearance too much. And then also the handle is a little bit rusty, but the lid operates. I'm gonna take this off and show you the inside. So the lid is operational. You can store some stuff in there and it would be snug. I wouldn't put food in it. It does have some corrosion on the inside, but it's fairly clean. You could put like little kids' toys or other like non-perishable, non-edible things. I wouldn't call it safe for food. So really cute decorative item for a kid's room maybe, or even your kitchen. I have one you can't see here, but on the top of my cupboards that I love up there. Next up I've got, oh, and the peanut butter bucket, like maybe $12 to $24. It depends. They go up and down in value, and I haven't checked recently. So it is Detroit, Michigan, and a Detroit, Michigan native may be interested in that fact. So there's our peanut butter bucket. Next up I've got this cool, this is actually, it says elementary school textbooks, 1928. It's a catalog. It's a catalog for teachers in schools to buy textbooks, and it gives descriptions and prices for the textbooks. So for instance, Robinson Crusoe, retold by Defoe, and illustrated, 191 pages, was 56 cents for the school version, the school textbook version. There's everything in here: science textbooks, reading textbooks, a 3-book edition. Let's see, Metcalf English books, but it's all, let me see if I can find, there are some illustrations. There's information in here about penmanship textbooks and sample illustrations from some of the textbooks, what you would find if you bought the textbooks. Cool little gift item, curiosity item for teachers and educators. But the average textbook, 500-page textbook, sold for about $4 a piece. Now they're anywhere from, you know, especially if you have a college kid or you're a teacher, $100 to $500 a piece. It does have some wear. The spine there is torn a little bit. It is a paperback. It's a really cool blue color. Nice little conversation starter, cute coffee table book, especially for an educator. So there is that. Next up we have My hands are dirty, so I'm gonna take care holding this. Let me, got some dirt on my hands from that peanut butter bucket. All right, we've got this small tablecloth. So it is small, I would say, let's see, it's about a little over a yard wide. And it has this really great window design. So it's gonna be hard to show you, but it's meant to look like a window. And on the windowsill, I'm sure you can see now, sits some flower pots. It looks like a geranium, a daisy, or a sunflower, and then a kitty cat. So there is an orange and teal kitty cat sitting on the end of the windowsill. So if you hold it up, you can see it looks like a windowsill with the window and the grid in the background. Same design on the other side. It is hand done. It is cross stitch, so if I can get a minute to fold it back up, I'll show you the detail of the cross stitch. So it is cross stitch, it is hand done. It does have that red and white detail along the windowsill. Show you the flowers. Quality work, really good quality work. Doesn't appear to be any missing threads or threads coming undone or missing stitches. Of course, it has the fold marks from being folded. There are a couple little small stains, really small. There's a yellow spot. A couple minor ones, nothing major. You could definitely put this on a table. Nobody would notice those spots at all. You also might be able to get them out with OxyClean, but I don't like to wash stuff that I'm going to share with you guys because I don't know what your intentions are for using it, and I wouldn't want to damage it before it gets to you. So I tend to let you guys decide whether you want to put it in the washing machine or hand wash, or what kind of chemicals you want to use to try and get it clean. So there you go, that's a tablecloth. So we said it's about 3 feet wide and it's twice as long as what's here. So this is probably about 2 feet, so maybe 4 feet by 3.5, 4 foot by 3.5 foot for a small like square table. Would really also, if you're a seamstress, somebody who sews, cut it in half and make 2 little cafe curtains for your kitchen. Super cute. So there's an idea for you. I'm not a sewer. My sister is. She could do it. And she has turned tablecloths into curtains for me before. It wouldn't be the first. Would not be the first time. So cute tablecloth. Next up, this was a trash pick. This was a lucky day on a trash pile. On my way to work, I was driving, saw some trash out on the curb, and saw some Christmas wrapping paper sticking out of it, so I went around the block. And I was right, I got a couple rolls of vintage Christmas paper. I'll share those with you eventually. And then I got these really cute Christmas trays. So these are plastic, like cookie trays. This one is, oh, so cute. I love vintage reindeer. So we have some kitschy vintage reindeer and a little elf there, or a child, looks like a child. And the reindeer are playing in the center. Oh, they're so cute. And it's a cool teal color. It's that vintage turquoise teal. And then we have a poinsettia. This one's neat. I love the colors on this one. This is candelabra or candle scene. It's got 3 candles in the middle of a wreath. Really pretty bright colors. And then the last one I've seen quite a bit, and I think I already have one of these in my Etsy shop, but this one is Santa Claus. So they're all appear to be in good shape. Originally they were 39 cents. I'll charge a little bit more. I'll probably sell them as a set. I feel like this is something you could put all of them out on your holiday table with different snacks in them, or use them for cookies for Santa. But they're all in decent shape, good condition. I don't really see any cracks or breaks, so if you love those, you should snag them up. They're nice little kitschy Christmas trays. Next up, tinsel and icicles. So this is tinsel for your tree, vintage stuff, metallized plastic. I usually throw these in my shop for a couple bucks. So we have 18-inch strands. They're the long ones. Long strands, and you hang them on the edge of your branches. It's supposed to look like icicles. My mom never let me put these on the tray because it was messy. But they are fireproof. They're made of metal, so they won't catch on fire when they're up against your lights. They'll be in the shop. You can see they're silver. This is a cool little planner I didn't get a chance to look up yet, but it's Royal Coakley. And super cute with the, I love everything with birds. Most people do. Birds are always hot. I feel like birds, birds are just birds, cats, and dogs. People always love those. So we've got, it looks kind of like a flower with the petals. There's some petal detail. And it's done in pink and a light like baby blue around the top. Again, I haven't cleaned it yet. I will clean it before I list it and send it to you. And then it's got this really cute little pink bird on the edge. Really love this. It'd be cute with house plant in it. It would be cute if you're a seamstress or a sewer to throw your pins and things in. It's not really deep enough to use for a pencil holder. That wouldn't work. But here is the Royal Coakley mark. And then the colors, that rose and pink colors. Trying to, the window's interfering for us today. But there's like pink and blue and then the cute bird. Cute little planner. This is one of my faves. I'm kind of tempted to keep it, but I can't keep everything. That's why I like having a shop where I can keep it for a little while. I can have it for a little while and then share it with you and get it out of my house. Because if you love vintage stuff and you love thrifting, my thrifting friends know you could become a hoarder so fast because every time you see a deal. What I have here though is a unique little piece I found on a shelf at a Goodwill. It is a little wooden scene. You can see there's Santa and there's some reindeer. You can see the glitter. There's glitter on here to look like snow. Santa has a sleigh. The sleigh has some wooden packages on it. Really cute. On the bottom, it's marked Japan. And when I was in the Goodwill, I was like, that is cute enough. I'm gonna get that. And then I brought it home and I was like, that would be cute for somebody who has a little apartment, right? And they don't have a lot of space for a Christmas tree or to set up like a Christmas village. This could be their little Christmas village. It's like the whole package in one. And then I realized, whoa, it expands. OMG, if you get a bigger place, you can expand your Christmas scene. How cool is that? Little apartment, I grow up and get a big house. Pretty cool, right? So if you have lots of space, lots of real estate, you can use it this way. But you see it expands, and then you have, I think we lost a reindeer, guys. We have 7 on here. It looks like maybe there used to be one that stood here, so it looks like we did lose a reindeer. But we can take 7. 7's good. It still looks good. You can't tell that there's one missing. We have Rudolph in the front with his brightest red nose. They all have red noses, but the one in the front's the brightest. And then Santa in the packages and the glitter. Super, super cute. I love it, love it, love it. Yeah, and it's got 7 out of 8 of the reindeer, but I feel like that's good enough, right? All right, so there's our Christmas scene. I have this awesome frame. What I loved about this frame, it's solid wood, but what I loved about it, it's like 1930s, 40s, my favorite thing, was this flower on the edge. So I cannot tell. The flower looks like it has little nails in it that are holding it. Oh, it's metal. And so that's a little metal flower on this wood frame. And the frame is pretty rustic. Look at me. Oh, it's nice for a portrait. Jeez. The frame's pretty rustic. It looks like either blue paint, can you see the little hints of blue left? Either blue paint has worn off or somebody was stripping it because they were planning to repaint it or something. I can't really tell. I can't tell if it's worn. It also has like, right there you can see it, some sheen, like there was also gold leaf or gold paint that was sanded or worn off. Or maybe this is what it always looked like. I'm not quite sure, but it was really pretty. It's longer than it is wide, so it's kind of like an oblong portrait kind of frame. I suppose you could also use it this way, and that would be okay. It's cute either way. It does not have backing, it doesn't have a hanger, so it would need both of those. Or maybe like on my mantle, I just have a bunch of really cool empty frames propped up on my mantle, so you could do that with it as well. You could try that. This funky book. I like things that are macabre and unusual and a little strange, and I feel like most of my vintage friends do too. And I found this book and it freaked me out a little bit. It's called Bird Children. bird children, the little playmates of the flower children. Now, some of you might have more of a knowledge base. You might know what flower and bird children are, but I don't. Elizabeth Gordon wrote this, and M.T. Ross illustrated it. And it was published by Voland, P.F. Voland Company in Boston. It's the bird children. And if you look at that cover, bird children, there's one that looks like a rooster. I didn't read it. I don't know what it's about yet. I don't know if these are costumes or if these are like little kids that are like mutated to be half birds, but the illustrations are really cool. I'm not gonna lie, it's scribbled all over in here. A lot of old kids' books are. Scribble, 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 scribble. But the content was interesting enough that I could overlook the scribbles. And I also like the dedication to all children who love birds and flowers, and especially to my little friend Dorothy Virginia. This book is lovingly dedicated. The copyright is 1912, so it's an old one. Scribble, scribbles, I'm sorry. But the illustrations, I do want to show you the cool illustrations because they are neat. Here's one. It's a peacock, but a person. It's a child. It's a person peacock. And then, let's see. Some of them are scribbled on. I'm sorry. Kids are cray. This one is a bird that's a child. And then if you look closely at the flowers, all the flowers have a little kid's head in them as the center. Cute, right? I mean, cute and weird all at the same time, but I really like it. And then each one is a little poem. The snowy herons used to be a very fine large family. I tell you this with great regret, men hunt the birds their plumes to get. Doom and gloom, children's stories. Back in the day, doom and gloom. Depressing. But the illustrations are fun. Again, scribbles. I'm sorry, but they're in there. I'm gonna admit it. Anyway, if you love this book, it'll be in my shop, I think. I'm trying not to keep it. I'm gonna be honest, I'm trying not to keep any of this. All right, this I found at a yard sale. I really love it. Poppies, these bright poppies with the brown. It looks like they're laying on the ground, or at least the one is. Laying on the ground with this gold around the edges, thick gold around the edges. You can see a little bit the metallic. And the poppies are beautiful and lots of detail and definitely hand painted. You can see some wear on the back. It's definitely vintage. And then there's a marking there. I don't know if you can make it out. I'm having trouble looking at it. Didn't look at it too hard yet. And even with my magnifying glass, I can't really read it right off the bat. I feel like it says France. That's what I feel like it says. But it is hand painted. You can see the brush strokes. And it was done really, really well. There is some wear of the gold around the edges. And I forget, the term for this is right on the tip of my tongue. But there are textured relief designs on the edge and then covered in that gold. And there is some wear of that gold on the edges from use, but it's still really beautiful. The shape is really cool to me as well. I love the organic shape of it. I would hang this on a wall. I would use it as a dresser tray. I wouldn't eat off of it because it's too pretty. I wouldn't want that painting to be scratched, but that's a really cool plate. I love it. Oh, and no chips, no cracks. It's in really great shape. And the paint's really great. Just some of the gold leaf around the edges is worn. Love that. I've got some vintage Christmas lights. These are C7s. Not the little ones, not the little C6, and not the big C9s that you put like on your bushes and stuff outdoors. These are the C7s. The box is a little beat up, but it looks like a brand new string that's never even been used. The bulbs haven't even been taken out of the little holes that they're punched into. So it's a strand of 15 lights. They'll be in my shop. I almost always have Christmas lights. So if you're a light person, you should check there frequently because I feel like I always have some Christmas lights in stock in all different sizes. So I know there are a couple strands in there now. These little metal picture frames, but I think I'm gonna keep these because my grandma had some and I have hers and I wanna do a little collage on the wall. and these go along with that. So I think I might keep these, but they're old, the old filigree metal frames. I have this plate. This is a barn find. I just blew the barn dust off of it. This plate I loved because of the edges, the ridged edge. I like that detail, makes it a little bit more decorative. And then it's got flowers on it, and these flowers appear to be a transfer. What I also like about this platter is that it looks awesome this way, and it also looks awesome horizontally. So either way, if you're gonna hang it on a wall, display it, it's nice looking, right? On the back as a mark, there's no chips, no cracks. It's in great shape. And it's gonna be clean because I'm gonna wash it before I get it to you. And it's made in the USA by the Edwin Knowles China Company. And the marking has a little ship on it. You might be more familiar than I am. I'm not really familiar with a lot of the stamps. I don't know one company from the next until I Google it. It's something I want to learn more about, and I do each time I look these things up. So, cute platter. Love the colors, those pastel colors, pink, purple, yellow, blue. Very cute. Oh my gosh, we're gonna be done soon. That's gonna be kind of sad. Okay, for me, I have a flour shaker. So those of you who like to make a ruse, you know, the sauce, white sauce, when you add the flour, make it a little thick. I do it for macaroni and cheese. That's how I do my macaroni and cheese. I make a roux and I put flour in it. So having a little flour shaker by your stove is super handy. And this one is really cute with the spun aluminum to match the spun aluminum canisters. I've had those from time to time. I don't have any right now, but this is spun aluminum. It hasn't been cleaned. It's ick. There's some like fingerprints and some dried ick. I'll get the ick off, I promise, when it goes in my shop, and when it comes to you, it's gonna be really clean and pretty. And I can get nearly all these spots off. I already know it for sure. The top is in great shape. There's no chips, no cracks. It has extra holes so that your flour doesn't get caked up and stuck in there. It's good size. It's bigger than a salt and pepper shaker. You can see how big it is. And there's that. Cool. It's in great shape. No dents, no big scratches or anything like that. I have to wait to show you this because I know there's another one. Wait, here it is. Chickens. I have these cute Japan chicken salt and peppers. What I love about these, you can see there's some wear, there's some minor paint wear. They're pretty rustic and primitive looking. They're probably 1950s, but they have like a primitive farm look to them. They're not shiny, they're not kitschy, they're not cartoony. They would go with your permanent decor, they would go with your farmhouse decor, they would go with your chicken collection. You know, everybody knows, it's like 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon, right? And then there's 7 degrees of chicken, but it's not even, it's like 1 degree because every single person knows another person who has a chicken collection. So I know you know somebody that would love these if you don't love them yourself. And what I love, I'm sorry, what I was saying was, what I love about these is that they're different. They're not exactly the same. One is like leaned over, getting ready to eat something off the ground like chickens do. And one is standing upright, kind of keeping a watch over things, making sure that their friend is good. On the bottom, I also love, they both have their original stoppers. They're also both marked Japan, and they have pretty good paint. There's some paint wear, but that's kind of one of the things that I like about them. They're imperfect, so you can tell that they're old, and you can tell that somebody used them and loved them. So the holes for see, they're the holes to shake the salt and pepper. We got the stoppers, we got the markers. We've got no chips or cracks. I'm impressed because these little things often do, especially when you're talking about beaks and tail feathers. They're almost always chipped, but not these guys. So they will be in my shop for your farm kitchen. What else do I have? I have a cool ceramic soap dish. So this would be awesome in your vintage bathroom. You can see there's some rust. I'm gonna use a little barkeeper's friend and get that right off for you. You won't have to worry about that. There is some crazing. It's old, it's ceramic porcelain There's crazing because it's old, so the clear glaze has started to crack. That's what crazing means, but it won't affect its beauty. I also like that it's like scalloped and has like this design. It's kind of like a delicate feminine shape to it. It's not just a rectangle. And it's pretty classy and fancy. Like once I shine this up and get it back to white, this would look great in your marble bathroom, your vintage bathroom, your brand new bathroom, like with the marble and that white look and the subway tile. This would look really great. It would also look good in a farmhouse kitchen if you use bar soap or you want to sit your sponge on it. That'd be great too in the kitchen. It's got the little ridges so your soap doesn't sit around, and it's kind of deep. Like your soap can really sit in there so it won't slide off. It's heavy. I like that because that heavy usually means quality. It is ironstone china, and it says extra quality, in fact. It's got an S, a C, and a G, and some lines. So there's the marking. You might be familiar, I'm not so much. But it does have a chip on the bottom corner. Make sure I show you that. Bottom corner chip, but check this out, boom. You don't even know it's there now, do you? Nope. You can put that in the back and it's on the bottom and you can't even really see it. I'm sorry, my window's messing with us today. Usually it gives us good light. Today it's kind of in the way. Soap dish, very cool. And it, again, it's heavy. It's not gonna slide around on you. I don't know what's in here. It says Scotch cellophane tape. So at one point there was a roll of tape in here. It's the large economy size and it's transparent. I love the plaid pattern of this. It reminds me of the coolers. Were they Scotch coolers? Were they? And the portable barbecue grills? I'm trying to think what the name brand of those were. But there were plaid portable barbecue grills. There were plaid cookout picnic coolers, plaid metal picnic baskets that had this plaid design. They might have been Scotch, I don't know. But this little tin opens and OMG, it's full of bingo chips. I'm gonna let you have those. I'm gonna let you have those bingo chips because I don't go to bingo yet, maybe in a couple years. So I'll just send them with the tin. This would be cute in your vintage office, sitting up on a shelf. Cute little gift for like a teacher who loves vintage stuff. I like old tins. My bathroom's full of old stuff. And then what's left in here, friends, is more Christmas lights. So some of these Christmas lights I have to keep because I do my whole outdoors with vintage lights and I use the old ones, and so I'm constantly buying new strands because these bad boys have been through it and they don't really last long. I don't encourage everybody to do it. You have to keep a watchful eye because these things get super hot. The older ones aren't like the safest, so you have to be careful and use them with caution, but I love them all the same. And I've got a couple sets. I'll probably keep a couple and sell a couple, but this one needs some red bulbs. Like, where's the Christmas on this strand? You know what I'm saying? It's like orange and blue and green. Where's the red? Where's the red? Some people call these Snoopy lights because that's how they remember them. And usually that's how I list them, as Snoopy lights. Glass bulbs, vintage. I've got 1, 2, the heck is that? Who knows? 1, 2, 3 big strands and a few extra bulbs. 3 big strands, a bunch of extra bulbs, and then I need to do some bulb replacing because some of them are broken. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna make sure they work. I don't know. The guy who sold them to me said they worked, but I don't know for sure. And then I have one more set of C7 lights. So this is the same size as the size in the box that I showed you earlier. They're not the little C6, the pointy ones. They're the smaller C7 lights. I'm gonna test those. These are in worse condition. So these have been like spliced together. The wires have been fixed and stuff, and I don't like to sell that kind of stuff. So when I find strands like this, I have a bunch of old dead bulbs and I'll replace all of the bulbs with dead bulbs and make them colorful like an original set would be, and they'd have green and yellow and white and whatever. Usually there's one of each color, 7 colors. And then what I'll do is I will cut the plugs off the cords so that nobody can use them in error and cause a fire. Because again, if you look, they've been repaired and spliced together, and I don't feel good about strangers' electrical know-how. So I cut the plugs off, but then I'll sell them pretty cheap as like a craft set, because for craft supply, because people do use them on wreaths, and some people just like to like interweave them with their Christmas display or make them part of their Christmas display and don't need them to light, but still would like to have them. So I do sell them real cheap as a craft set and for craft supplies. So if you're interested in something like that, I'll probably have those listed up as such. So, oh, the best thing, I saved this for last on purpose because it's my favorite thing in the box. It was laying on top, and so I put it aside to surprise you. I've got an amazing purse. So I found this beautiful vintage purse. It's pink with retro flowers. This is legit retro. Check that out. Chickadee check it. It has this awesome lucite handle made to look like tortoise shell. Very popular in the 60s and 70s. So it's like that orangish brown lucite with it's got the brown lines in it. See that brown inside the handle? And it's cute. It's like a satchel size. It's larger than a clutch. It's purse size. It's bigger than a clutch, purse size. It can go on your wrist. It's not gonna go over your shoulder. But it also is pretty flat, right? If I open it up, it is really clean inside. So whoever had it took care of it or didn't use it much. But watch this. So I'm out shopping, looking cute, and decide that I want to buy a lot of stuff, and I need some place to carry it. It unsnaps, and it becomes like a whole big bag with all of this extra capacity for carrying and storing stuff. Amazing, right? And then I get home, or I get to a friend's house, or wherever, I unload it, and then you fold it back up and snap it, and you've got this awesome little smaller size purse. I love that. It's so cute. I love it. It does have a little bit of wear. So on the corners, it's going to be hard to see in the camera, but on the corners there is some wear. You can see it on this side as well. So it was used. Somebody did love it. It does have some really light soiling that's like barely detectable. Some spots where there's some soil, but there are no major stains, no major tears, no major breaks. The handle's in good condition. The brand says Ladies Pride, and in the 60s or 70s, I probably would have been proud to carry this. I don't think I'm cool enough nowadays. I think I'm like just not cool enough to rock something like this, but I know a lot of my friends are. So if you're interested, this will also be in the shop. Great condition. The inside's so clean. It's like no one used it, but I know they used it because there is some wear up here. So they just took really good care of that, and I appreciate it. So this is the awesome purse. Big surprise. The thing I love the best in my box. And so that is it. That is everything in our box. We did it. We're at 33 minutes. Impressed myself. I met my goal. I love when that happens. So again, I'm going to spend the next couple days getting this stuff posted. The links to my eBay and Etsy, maybe my Instagram and Facebook are down in the description. If you have any particular questions about anything you saw here, feel free to leave a question in the comments and I will get back to you. And don't forget to subscribe. On my channel page, if you go there, there's a little red, it says bright red, all caps, subscribe. If you click that, what will happen is when I post another new video, you'll get an alert saying, Janel from Brand Junkin just posted a new video, and you won't miss anything because I don't want everybody to buy up the good stuff and you don't get a chance to have it. So check it out, go subscribe, and thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in episode 2. Hold me to the hoard. All right, everybody, have a great one.